The scriptures say, where there is no vision, the people perish.
Shalom, Israel. This is Bishop Nathaniel. I want you to know that you can view all our Sabbath classes live on IUIC TV. That's right, I said on IUIC TV.
Do you know history?
I'm going to show you and prove to you that the Israelites are black, were always black.
Dance floor time, just move up your body. Don't get loose and groove on the body. Bruise, wine. Put on the armor, the procedure complete. Me not go back, nah retreat. All traitors, every Jezebel must get delete. Me no sleep on a demon, me keep a full clip. Conspire me downfall, cause them want to me slave. Stay close to the real ones, we seal off and legit. Cause I gotta use them to keep your soul from the pit. This a war life, I swear the damn thing.
All right, so let me close over and then let me welcome Captain. Well, Captain, very welcome to our channel 98.7 FM in Ghana.
Shalom, shalom.
Captain, I can hardly hear you. All right, okay. Can I use this?
Can you hear me? Shalom.
Yeah. Captain, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, yeah. Welcome to our Super Dar 98.7 FM in Ghana.
Thank you for having me.
Wow. Today we are going to learn, right?
Repeat?
I said today we are going to learn. You are going to teach us a lot.
Of course, of course, of course. Yes, every day we learn. Yesterday you learned with the bishop. Today you're going to learn with me.
All right.
The Bible is an extensive book of information, of knowledge.
Okay.
Innumerable treasures. So today's topic of discussion is going to be the legacy of the colonizer, of your favorite Mr. Neighborhood white man. That's right. So,
all right, so we can start.
Yes. So who is this famous person, the colonizer that we know, or the conqueror today? He's your presidents. He's your so-called kings. He's your so-called queens. He's your so-called magistrates, your judges, your rulers of the earth today. And we're going to go through the history of the colonizer, of their ascent and then their descent, the destruction. So the legacy of the colonizer is one of slavery. They didn't vote their way into obtaining the land or the resources of the land, but they took it by violence as well as force, and they stole the people of a continent and they forced them into slave labor. They used deception, they used the religion, they used their political power, and they rob, they steal, and they kill. And that's the legacy, and the Bible is going to clarify or illuminate these things that I'm saying. Let's start off with Genesis chapter 25, verse 23, and identify this person in the Bible, because every race and every nation of people you can find in the table of contents, the table of nations. You can find in the beginning in the book of Genesis. Go to Genesis chapter 25, verse 23.
The book of Genesis, chapter 25, the verse 23.
Mm-hmm.
And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels.
So
and the one
God said to Rebekah, Isaac's wife, 2 nations, because she was asking, Lord, if I'm blessed from being pregnant, why is it that the children are struggling within thy womb? And he told her, actually, let's start at verse 21.
Book of Genesis, chapter 25, the verse 21. And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife, because she was barren. And the Lord was entreated of him. And Rebekah, his wife, conceived. Verse 22. And the children struggled together within her.
So the children in Rebekah's womb started struggling with them, started fighting, all ready for the womb before they even came out. Usually children fight or siblings fight when they're outside of the womb, but you have twins fighting internally within the womb. Go on.
And she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord.
She said, Lord, if this is a blessing from you, Father, for you blessing my womb, why are they fighting in me? What is this? What is this that was placed in me, O Lord, that there's such an internal struggle? Go on.
And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb.
God already told Rebekah that the children that's fighting within your womb, when they get older, when they come out, when you deliver them, when they grow older, when they have the descendants, they're going to become two prominent nations on this earth. Go on.
And two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels.
Manner of people that's going to be separated from the bowels, meaning two different people. They're not going to think the same. They're not going to see the same. They're not going to have the same perception. They're not going to have the same characteristics or personality traits. Their vision of the world or how the world should be ran is going to be completely different. So the Bible says two different nations, two manners of people are going to be separated, not together, not unified, not joined, but divided. Ain't no getting along. It's no we are the world. It's no God so loved the world. No, these nations are always going to have conflict no matter what. No matter how many times you appeal to them, no matter how many times you cry to them, no matter how many times you march, God says you're always going to be divided. Go on.
And the one people shall be stronger than the other people.
But one people will be physically stronger as well as mentally stronger to endure the hardships and the trials that the other nation will afflict on them. Go on.
And the elder shall serve the younger.
And the prophecy is that the elder child that will come out first out of the womb in the near future will serve the younger child in the kingdom to come. Go on.
And when his days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in a womb.
So they were identical twins, but they were fraternal twins. Go on.
Verse 25. And the first came out red. So
the first twin, the elder twin came out red, meaning the pigmentation, he had no melon, he didn't have any pigmentation, but you could see the blood through his skin. So the first child came out red. That's why there's no such thing as a white person. They're red. Why? Because you can see the blood through their skin. In the South, we call them rednecks because when the sun shines on them, the necks become so red. Go on.
All over like an hairy garment.
And not only is he red, but he's red and he's hairy. If you take a Gillette shaver from him, he's going to look like those cavemen. Because why? They came from the caves of the Caucasus Mountains in Russia, Georgia. They're red and hairy. Go on.
And they called his name Esau.
In the verse, they called his name Esau, which means wasted away is he. Go on.
Verse 26. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob.
So afterwards, his brother came out, Jacob, and he took hold of Esau's heel. Notice how the Bible never mentions the color of Jacob, because why? Jacob looked like all his previous ancestors. He looked like his father, his mother, and all of his descendants, as well as everybody on the earth at the time, because Esau was the first child that came out different in pigmentation, different in color. He had no melanin. He didn't have dark pigmented skin. So the first one, Esau, which is a so-called white man, and all his descendants are red. And Jacob looked like me, looked like you, and all the people of Ghana, Sierra Leone, Liberia, all up in Africa. Because why? He was black. Can I prove that? Yes, I can. Give me Genesis chapter 2, verse 7.
Book of Genesis chapter 2, the verse 7. And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground.
So God formed man of the dust of the ground. What color is the dust of the ground? Brown. Different shades of brown. The deeper you go, the darker it gets. So Jacob came out, looked like everybody else on the earth because everybody was a dark pigmentation or dark melanated skin. Esau was your first Caucasian or first red man on the earth. Now, let's go to Genesis chapter 20. Jump down to go to Genesis 25 again. And then we're going to jump down to verse 29.
Book of Genesis chapter 25, the verse 29. And Jacob sowed pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was fainted, and he was faint. And Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom.
So that's when Esau's name was called Edom and became the father or the forefather of the Edomite nation or race. You have Caucasians, or you have French Edomites, you have Dutch Edomites, you have Polish Edomites, you have Russian Edomites, you have Ukrainian Edomites, you have Spanish Edomites, you have Italian Edomites, you have French Edomites, you have British Edomites, you have American Edomites. They're all descendants from the nation of Edom. Now, let's go to Genesis chapter 27, verse 38, establishing more of the characteristic and the nature. Genesis 27, verse 38.
Book of Genesis chapter 27, the verse 38. And Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing? My father, bless me, even me also, oh my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept.
Keep going.
Verse 29. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth.
So one of the blessing will be for Esau is his dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, meaning he will conquer and colonize the best parts of the earth. He'll conquer and colonize Africa, the fatness, where all the wealth, the gold, the natural resources produces it. He will conquer and colonize the land of Israel, the Holy Land. He will conquer and colonize the Western Hemisphere, North America, Central and South America, and take hold of the resources and dwell in the best locations on the earth. Go on.
And of the dew of heaven from above. Verse 40. And by thy sword shalt thou live.
How will he get the fatness of the earth? By his sword. By his sword he shall live. He will conquer and colonize. That's why in the 1400s, they called them the conquistadors, the colonizers, or the conquerors. The conquerors by nations, and they used the sword. They was blessed with the gift of war. Go on.
And shall serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck.
Okay, now let's go to Revelation chapter 6, verse 2. It says, by thy sword, the fatness of the earth. He will possess the fatness of the earth. How will he get it? By the sword, by conquering, by dividing, by spoiling, by raping, by enslaving. Let's go to the book of
Revelation chapter 6, verse 2.
Now, one second. Now, can you give me the definition of, I think I put it on the radio group, conqueror or conquistador? Revelation 6, verse 2 now.
Revelation chapter 6, verse 2.
Book of Revelation chapter 6, verse 2. And I saw, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat on him had a bow, and a crown was given unto him, and he went forth conquering and to conquer.
Read it again. Read it again. And can you give me the definition conquistador? Read it again.
Book of Revelation chapter 6, verse 2. And I saw, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat on him.
So John the Revelator saw in a vision, behold, a man on a white horse, and he that sat on that white horse. Go on.
And he that sat on him had a bow, and a crown was given unto him.
He had a bow, and a crown was given unto him. Go on.
And he went forth conquering and to conquer.
He went forth conquering and to conquer. So John is seeing through the different parts of history, or through the four horses that he saw. The one horse had a bow, the white horse, which he had on a crown, and a crown because why? He went conquering and to conquer. Now, can you give me the definition of conquistador? Bring up the definition of conquistador. Conquistador. No, that's not what I want. I think I posted it. No, conquistador. Type in conquistador. Conquistador. Go on Google, type in conquistador.
Yeah, mommy and translate.
Oh, that's it. That's it right there. One that conquers. Read that again, the bottom part. And he went forth conquering and to conquer. So conquistador means to what? To conquer. So the way he started colonizing, and he started during the Renaissance period in the middle of the 1400s, around the 1450s. So he went colonizing or conquering. That's what conquistadors mean. Now get me Revelation 13, verse 7. And actually, yes.
Yeah, Captain, let me translate. So far, me bacho me Captain Joel na yedi komo ni mo abekan say yo. Me bacho eni yedi komo na ode Isaac eni Esau na ye Jacob ni Esau na ye mfato mo de maye na ye kenkan bibi kakra kire enuanom mienu a ye de o masi ode ama oman ye mfa ne sa. Enti eno na ye chiri mu no okase eni no ya tena ho ama ye hemfo ye mpanyimfo politicians na edi oman ne so ama eno nti yasa akọ ye nchi kakra na o kasa dia besi so se eni no hwe oman Ghana ana hwe bibiri ho anom pa ya kwesi enrade no so se ye ni ahoto ni nyina ne se ya fa obi edi na ye yesusudia eno no o chirim sesi ya se Oba sisi ya ukan Revelation chapter 6 verse 2 me bacho wase na mehuni na mhwe obonko fita bi ni na de ote ne so no kura tadua me bacho tiri ba na oma no abotire na o refree edi akron orikodi nkunim na okodi nkunim me bacho ena verse 3 no kan so me bacho ti Revelation edisem insia ne yimu mienu ehona ye kenkan ni sese ya na kutie no ebacho nti ode abusua ko mienu ni si ho ena ya breaking it down one ya ba be kotu Revelation anase edisem insia ne yimu mienu enti me bacho ye to aso kakra nti this time me makasa ne nkwecha sana ma interpret ya ma topic na ye ka ho asem no ye hwe enyinaso ema say ye ka se obi aye colonize what you say me bacho ma me breaking it down so obi di obi so yes me bacho enti ye mfa ne sa eno nenne ye breaking it down ka sha no so say enrade no nko enenne so ye to aso dia ma ti eno ye ne ye bishop Nathaniel Deacon ene ye ne captain Joa enna ono so ebie ye ne ama yetumi yatiase e wotwere. So Captain, we can continue from there.
Yes. Thank you. All praise to the Most High. Hey, can you give me the image of the conquistadors? So they went conquering and to conquer. I just want to show you these people. So the Bible is the most accurate historical book on the face of the earth. The white man might lie to us, but the Bible won't. They might lie to us, but God won't lie to us. He's not a man that he should lie. Give me that article. I sent it to the group chat. Thank you. So this is just a brief picture of the people which the Bible is talking about that had, and think about that, sat on a white horse, that had the crown and the bow, conquering and to conquer. Now go down. Spanish explorers and conquistadors traveled thousands of miles. Can you go back? Thousands of miles to seize lands for the crown of Spain. You have some of your conquistadors or your conquerors, Juan Ponce de Leon, Alvar Nunes Cabeza de Vaca, Francisco Pizarro, Hernan Cortez, Hernando de Soto, and Juan de Onate were among the first Europeans to explore the New World. They didn't explore, they conquered and went to conquer. Now go down. See the image of some of these demons. Ponce de Leon, Amerigo Vespucci, which America was named after, a Spanish navigator. You have Alvar Nunes Cabeza de Vaca. Go down. You have Francisco de Pizarro, Hernando Cortez. You had Francisco Velasquez de Conando. Go down. Now to this person right here. You have Vasco Nunes de Baloba and Hernando de Sota. So these are some of your conquerors that went to conquer, your conquistadors. Bible prophecy is now world history. Now, Let's go to Revelation 13, verse 7. So what did they come to conquer? Who did they come to colonize and conquer? Revelation chapter 13, verse 7.
The book of Revelation, chapter 13, the verse 7. And it was given unto him to make war with the saints.
It was given unto the colonizer or the conquerors, the conquistador, the Spanish crown, Esau, Idumean, Edom, to do what?
To make war with the saints.
To make war with the saints. To make war with the saints. Why did he say his blessing shall be the fatness of the earth? And not only will his blessings be the fatness of the earth, but by thy sword shall he live. By thy sword he shall conquer and colonize and conquer and divide. And he will make war with the saints. How did he make war? He went to Africa and made war with the saints. He made war with us and he slaved us. He went to the Western Hemisphere, the New World. He made war with the Indians, the North American Indians, the Latinos, and he enslaved them. He made war with the saints. Now, you might say the saints is talking about everybody, all races and nations of people. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 33 to prove who the saints are. Deuteronomy chapter 33, verse 3.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 33, the verse 3. Yeah, he loved the people. All his saints are in thy land, are in thy hand, and they sat down at thy feet. Everyone shall receive of thy words.
Now go to verse 1. Who are
verse
the saints? 1. Who's the people that he loved that sat down by his feet? Go on.
Deuteronomy chapter 33, the verse 1. And this is the blessing wherewith Moses, the man of God, blessed the children of Israel before his death.
So the saints, the people that he loved that sat before his feet, is the children of Israel. So now when you go back to Revelation 13, verse 7 now, let's go back.
Book of Revelation chapter 13, the verse 7. And it was given unto him to make war with the saints.
It was power. Power was given unto your conquistadors, your Spanish crown, to make war with the saints, to make war with the saints. Go on.
And to overcome them.
And to overcome us. Go on.
And power was given him over all kindred and tongues and nations.
And power was given not only to the white man to make war with the saints, but all kingdoms, tongues, as well as nations. Get me, who gave him the power? Think about it. How did he just come up and out of the caves of the Caucasus Mountains and conquered Africa and conquered those in America? Let's go to Revelation chapter 13, verse 4. Who gave him that power?
Book of Revelation chapter 13, verse 4. And they were. Book of Revelation chapter 13, verse 4. And they worship the dragon which gave power unto the beast, and they worship the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast?
And they worship the dragon, and they worship Satan. They worship Satan, which gave power unto the beast, gave power to the white man. They gave power. That's where he got his power, to conquer the saints. That's how he got power, to have world dominion. It just didn't happen out of coincidence, out of nowhere. No, Satan gave them the power. They worshiped the beast. They worshiped the dragon, which gave him the power. They gave him the power of war to conquer and to colonize. And guess what? Who's the edict? Now, can you give me the article with with Pope Alexander? No, Pope Nicholas V. Do you have that? Or Pope Nicholas V? And I'll get me Revelation chapter 3. Yeah. So he made war with the, so on his conquest, you said, wait a minute. So he made war. Why did they come conquering us? And they came in the name of the crown in Christianity. What you're going to realize that the Roman Catholic Church, or Pope Nicholas V, is the one that issued the edict in order to enslave all Israelites living in Africa as well as the Western Hemisphere. Now, yes. Let's go. Yes. Let's read that. How Pope Nicholas V used the church to start the disgraceful slave trade. Go down. In 1452, Pope Nicholas V charged Alfonso of Portugal with the Christian duty to enslave any non-Christian. I say he charged Alfonso of Portugal with the Christian duty. It was so forget God so loved the world. Forget Jesus came, died for everybody. Forget to love thy enemies as thyself. Forget to pray for them. No, he says, no. Enslave all non-Christians. That was an edict that was given out by the Roman Catholic Church. Pope Alexander V was the first one to issue that order. Go on. Oh, so go on. The Pope's Act would be the first recorded international edict to literally grant a Christian nation the right to promote, enforce, and heavily profit from slave trading. Decades later, Pope Alexander VI beckoned Christian monarchs to conquer. There goes that word again, to conquer. Did we not just read that in Revelation chapter 6, verse 2? That power was given to him to conquer and to go conquering. It says Pope Alexander VI beckoned Christian monarchs to conquer native populations in the name of the Catholic Church, upholding his predecessors' tradition to enslave non-Christians in whatsoever lands they called home. So it was the Roman Catholic Church under Pope Alexander V that issued the edict to enslave and conquer, and Pope Alexander VI later on took on that duty to also enslave as well as conquer. Let's get Revelation chapter 13, verse 15 now. So they came in the name of their cross. They came in the name of their religion, Christianity. Christianity was never our religion. They revamped it and they whitewashed it. And they gave us their form of the religion. They said that the Bible was used to enslave us. The Bible was used towards our demise. No, their religion was used, not the Bible. The Bible always remained the same. The Bible condemns their acts. The Bible shows what they would do, that they would cast God's judgment behind them. Now, Revelation chapter 13, verse 15.
Book of Revelation chapter 13, the verse 15. And he had power to give life. Book of Revelation chapter 13, the verse 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast.
And he had power. Who gave him that power? Satan. The dragon gave him that power. And he had power. He had the economic power to give life, as well as he had the power of the church to give life unto the image of the beast. He gave the life of Christ to Caesar Borgia. So Caesar Borgia took on the new image of Christ. He became the image of Christ, the whitewashed image. Pope Alexander VI of Rome hired Leonardo da Vinci as well as Michelangelo to be the new representation of Jesus Christ, which originally is a black man. And it's always been a black man, according to the Bible. Read on.
That the image of the beast should both speak.
So they took the image. They took the image of Caesar Borgia, the son of Pope Alexander VI, and they caused him to speak. Can you give me an image, a picture of Caesar Borgia? Show the people. I want the audience to see what Caesar Borgia looked like. And they caused the image of the beast to both speak. How do they cause them to speak? They bring him to life through the television, through the movies. They bring him to life through their plays, through the shows, through the cartoons. They do it in your Sunday churches. They caused the image of the beast to both speak. They brought Caesar Borgia to life and gave him the life of Christ. Go on.
And cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed.
And caused as many that did not worship the image, the white image of Jesus Christ, to be killed, or I'll say the white image of Caesar Borgia to be killed. Their religion was forced upon us, and it was issued by Pope Nicholas V, as well as Pope Alexander VI gave that order, the edict, to go and colonize us, to conquer, and to force their religion of Christianity on us in the Roman Catholic Church. Now, let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 28.
Captain, can I ask you a question on
Yes,
that?
sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, with regards to the images that is being portrayed to be Christ our Lord, is there any particular image that we can take it out? This is the Christ that we are talking about.
Oh, of course. Yes. So that's a very good question, because those of your listeners, you might say, wait a minute, you're calling this the image of the beast, but this is the same image that I grew up with. And guess what? I've been to Ghana. And all over your churches. Yeah, I've been to Ghana in October. I was there for like a month. And all throughout the churches, on your cabs, on your walls, everywhere was white images. White images portraying to be Jesus Christ. You had an imposter all over Ghana. I said, wait a minute. Isn't Africa the blackest nation in the world? So why is the blackest nation with black morals has the misrepresentation of the wrong Christ? Because why? Not only has the Western Hemisphere and America's been colonized and conquered, but Africa too has been whitewashed. Let's go to Revelation chapter 1, verse 14. Start at verse 1. Revelation chapter 1, verse 1, then we're going to jump to verse 14.
Book of Revelation chapter 1, the verse 1. The revelation of Jesus Christ, which God gave unto him to show unto his servants things which must certainly come to pass, and he sent and signified it by his angel unto his servant John.
Now let's go to verse 14.
Verse 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool.
So his head and the hairs on his head were white like wool. What is the texture of wool? Negro hair, kinky, coarse, or what you call nappy hair, afro hair. Read.
As white as snow.
And it was white as snow. Read.
And his eyes as a flame of fire.
And his eyes was as the flame of fire. Because why? Christ drank wine, but in moderation. Read. Go on.
And his feet like unto fine brass.
And Christ's feet, and his feet was like unto fine brass. What color is brass? Brown. So John the Revelator is looking at Jesus Christ's feet, and he says, wait a minute. It's like unto fine brass, the color of brass, which is brown. Go on.
As if they burned in a furnace.
And it is as if, it is so dark, as if a burnt in a furnace. Guess what? Christ looked like the people in Ghana. He was a very dark-skinned man, or a so-called black man. So the image of the beast that was brought to Africa, that was brought to America in the name of, under the crown, under the Spanish crown, under the Roman crown, was the image of Caesar Borgia. Was not the representation of the Christ of the Bible. No, not my Jesus. Your white Jesus is a false Jesus. He's an imposter. Now, shall we continue the legacy? Now, any?
Yeah, Captain, let me break it down for our listeners to understand.
Yes, sir.
Our interaction. If I wish for Utiana, Yedin Comona, Captain Emmy Antiasie, you would dear so. And Mara was sharing, I say, and then I was sharing in Yuma every year, and then Pempeso, Gusone, the Oguswa or Reye, and Comona Yedi. Now, Yedin Comona, Baby Sima, no can't images. Ghana, Hanuma, also by Ghana last year, more October, and now when a penny bako free outside America, no buy. Now, I hear about who Ghana, or my she will more buy. Yeah, Funya use Ghana images I use. A yakwese and sorry, Bia, Sapi channel, and I now open this friend Caesar Boja, Mepacho, enti. Sa akwanu mfonyin akwanu kra na yesi eba mpebi kra mebe to bia se oyege kra sa obroni fita na ye use the picture no as ye na ruade ye nyankopon no e na wo chem se ade ba ko mo ba ya o mo yam hye wo mo pa no a wo hu ye ne se ensole ahodo a na e wo Ghana anyina sa akwana na e de na ye na ruade ye nyankopon a na kyerɛ sɛ ɛbobɔ nsafo ahodoɔ mu na ɔmo ho yɛ no ne yam hye no etu obisa no ho sɛ ada ɛbibire mu nko ara na yɛdi si wi yɛ ho ɛbibire mu nko ara ba etitum ne Ghana ha asɛ ɔno nko ara na asa akwane na sisi ane yɛn na gyina hɔ sɛ ɔno ne yɛ na Awurade a yɛ so no na ɛnyɛ hankɔ ɔsa kɔ n'akyi no nkurɔfo foro bi nso wɔ hɔ no ma ɛnyɛ ɔman Ghana mu nso no so hu sɛ saa mfonyi no akyerɛnde paa ɛkokɔ akyiri paa ɛno no wɔka sɛ sisi ano yɛn Awurade Yesu Kristo no ɔde nsɛn na hɔ adeɛ nti wotie no mibisa ne sɛ yɛsi ano yɛ saa kɔ yɛ yɛsi wɔnyɛ yɛn Awurade no a ɔno ɔyɛ white man nipa yɛ ɔno di yɛso yi a efiri tete ɛna ɔhyɛ ne nnwuma ase besi na obu so di yɛso yi saa mfonyin no mfonyin foforo bi wɔ hɔ a ɛno yɛ yagye nkwa na ɛno ne me question me bisa ɛyɛ Captain Joel ɛna ɔkyerɛ sɛ ane ɛno na ma ɔmo yɛkɔ to Revelation chapter 1 verse 1 ɔmo yɛ kenkan yɛ ɛna ɔmo yɛ jump free ɛhɔ ba 14 the Revelation chapter 1 verse 14 ɛhɔ na yɛgyina sisi yɛ obiem akyerɛ yɛ sɛnea yɛ anagye nkwa yɛ na Awurade a yɛso no na ho fa ma sɛnea osi tie ɛnti okenka ɔkyerɛ sɛnea ne tirinwi mpo esi tie ɔkyerɛ sɛnea n'ani ego sua no kala esi etie eti wama wo saa nsusuanso ne nyina nti asɛm a no wɔka ne sɛ yɛmfa saa Revelation chapter 1 the verse 14 no yɛmfa ntoto saa mfonyi a yɛde abobɔ yɛn nsafo ahodoɔ mu mfonyi a obaso first time Israel United for ba okay say omo be yi saa mfonyi akɛse be ne ball na omo de foforo abre heard my mind eti saa mfonyi no yɛmfa Revelation chapter 1 verse 14 and to mfonyi ahodoɔ na ya post to say ɛyɛ Yesu Kristo no yɛmfa Revelation chapter 1 verse 14 no yɛmfa entoto and I'm catching up say unto the mama na me breaking it down say na be ya wo tie nya wo so tie wo fie no enti saa mfonyi na yɛhunu na ana bo se wa yɛ mini nsabie no ga to na koma so too sure be ba cho ne no ya ma wate ase se ye Awurade Yesu Kristo ɔno no nebo ɛyɛ kwasi buroni white man dadafo no wono ɛna apotre ne ho ameye hu se ampa we do ɔno ne ye na Awurade Yesu Kristo da jenkwa no enti from Revelation chapter 1 verse 14 factor to sound for Yahudah. Yes, Captain, we can continue from there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All praises. All praises. So now let's go to Psalm chapter 74 because they took the image or the edict was given by Pope Alexander or Pope Nicholas V, as well as Pope Alexander VI, which is the successor that gave the authority to have his son Caesar Borgia image painted to take on the life of Christ, and they took it to the Western Hemisphere. And they
Captain, so let me ask you this question before we continue. Yes. I'm getting much interested over there. So you are saying that one of the Pope's son is this one that we are seeing to be the image that we are seeing now to be the Christ.
Yes. Yes. His name is Caesar Borgia. He's a robber. He was a thief. And he dealt and he indulged in incest. He had sex with his sister, Lucretia Borgia. That's the image in which people are worshiping today. They're not worshiping the creator, but they're worshiping the creation. They're worshiping the colonizer, the conquistador. They're taking him up and setting his image to be God when he is not God.
So who is the father of this Caesar Borgia that we are talking of?
Pope Alexander VI.
Pope Alexander VI.
Yes. He's the one that gave the order to have his son painted by Michelangelo as well as Leonardo da Vinci. This is the man the people know today to be their Jesus Christ. When we say that Jesus Christ is the black one, they say, oh no, not my Jesus, not my Caesar. Look at his pretty blue eyes. Look
all right, Captain. Captain, let me translate it. They say a captain Kenyan say Emponia Yoguru na sisi a yahoro na kakaka popo ye sorry dem ahudo ni nyina no. Pope na osiso a friend Pope Alexander VI. Me pacho ne ba ene Caesar Borgia ye ka na asemi. Na captain kasa no kasa ono kura no wasafa kwan bi so ne nurse stampo and said yes shemo emo shemo eye abrante yes is an fonyi bobo yen sorry dem ahodo nyina no oye Bob Alexander the 6th ne ba ne yemo ba ene sa abrante na ene no yeso ne say yedi ne pictures akọ Ghana ha wiase baby biada say wono ne yenawrade Yesu Kristo no enti me ba choy very interesting enti me ba choy ye to aso enti uwemfoni a me hwe wa ha ya bia wo no de unhu bi na sa aye Caesar Boje no me ba choy the year 1492 me ba choy tienie data na eye afe 1492 me ba choy ena oye sa offense no this abone me ba choy tienie pa Caesar Boje ne ho abakwasam kakra me de mawo ono na sesia no ye hu ne mfonyi se Yesu Kristo me ba choy tienie pa ebobo ye sorry there ye tonton wa ponte akwa no we yeska because oba bi brem ha ya ton mfonyi papa but Captain, we've been much deceived because we buy these images have been bought so long time up to now, and people have made a lot of money.
Yeah.
From Caesar Boje.
Yeah, they make money off of lies, white lies.
Oh. This is very serious.
Yes, it's very serious. And guess what? The Bible takes it very seriously. Let's get Psalm chapter 74. Let's get Psalm chapter 74, verse 4.
Book of Psalms, chapter 74, the verse 4.
Start at verse 2.
Verse 2. Remember thy congregation.
God, we want God. We want to send up our prayers and say, God, remember thy congregation. Remember thy people. Don't forget us, God. Read.
Which thou hast purchased of old.
God, remember when you had us since old, when we were in the land of Jerusalem, when we used to worship and serve before thee, O Lord. You purchased us with a price. You delivered our ancestors out of Egypt by the hands of your servant, the men of God, Moses, God. Remember thy ancestry. Remember thy heritage, Lord. Read.
The rod of thy inheritance, which thou hast redeemed. This Mount Zion, wherein thou hast dwelt.
Now jump to verse 4 now.
Verse 4. Thine enemies roll in the midst of thy congregations.
God, your enemies, God, roar in the midst of your congregations. They come in our lands, they come in our temples, they come in our synagogues, and what do they do, Lord? Read.
They set up their ensign for signs.
They set up their ensigns, meaning they set up their signs as well as the images for signs. Now jump to verse 9. So they started going to our synagogues, our temples, our churches, our castles, and they started setting up their images. It's
Captain, quick, let me quickly translate what we've just read.
Yes,
sir. Na yeka aye Zaboje wasam no ena aye Captain Joe abi enam ya kan say yen kan bibi mfiri enwomti aduoso 9 ne yimo aye mienu. Asa ne be jampo akọ ne yimo 9 na etifi asem wose asafo no ama ne hu mu sufre. Asafo no ama ne hu mu sufre. Eno no se kai wasafo a woto won tete. Oje won se wajapade mantam no. Sion bepo a wo betena so no. Eno me jampo ya ye de aba the verse number 4. Say watamfo titi wo hia mu. Wo si won senkyerene de ye senkyerene. Wow, this is very deep.
Yes, sir.
Enti tifia sem no. Wase asafo no ama ne hu mu sufre. So in fact, I'm going to ask for this and this is the time we have to call God to revive us once again. So, Captain, let's continue from there.
Yes,
verse
sir.
4.
Yes, sir. Verse 9 now.
Okay, verse 9.
Book of Psalms, chapter 74, the verse 9. We see not our signs.
We see not our signs, meaning we see not our images. When you go into the churches today, when you go to castles or you look on TV, you don't see our images anymore. You don't see the true biblical image of Black Christ. You don't see the true biblical image of Black Paul, Peter, James, Luke, Matthews. You see the saints up in the Roman Catholic Church or Rome painting and depicting our forefathers to be white people, to have red skin. They conquer and they divide and they take and they take and take. The Bible says we see not our signs. We don't see our images anymore. Read.
There is no more any prophet.
There's no more any prophet. Go on.
Neither is there among us any that knoweth how long.
No, is there any that knows how long, O Lord, will this persist? How long will you have the wicked, the heritage of the wicked, or the legacy of the conquistadors or the colonizers rule over us? How long for this, oh Father? Check this out now. Go to Job chapter 20, verse 5. But we know how long.
Okay, yeah, yeah, jump about verse 9. Now, verse 9, what can I see? You yen century, would you for be ni hope you? Now, you move biara nim da kwa ebeko akwakisi. Verse 9 na you can see you yen century and now Captain Yo Emma Watia says, Eneno, Petromo, Matiomo, Sangofono, Omonfoni in Rubio. Nemono. Rome for Omunfoni on the buy, Pope Alexander deceased. The bar Numfoni now ye Mayan, and no name, and I'm so just share what Bia Riasia Fanana and Aquamia who said, I'm Hayajin when you Nezo, Hannibal, Matiomo, Pedromo, Sankofoni in Amfonina, Sa, and Sancharin, a binny opium. Ye nim down so a bequacosi, would you for Bians who opium? So, Captain say, young call Job, Job chapter. Captain, give us the chapter.
Yes, Job chapter 20, verse 5.
Book of Job, chapter 20, the verse 5. That the triumphing of the wicked is short.
We understand at that time we didn't know, but now we know that the triumphum of the colonizer is but short. They had a short time left on this earth. Go on.
That the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite, but for a moment.
And the joy of the hypocrite, but for a moment. And we've seen through the world events today that America and the world superpowers, the European superpowers, is on a constant and consistent decline. So we understand now that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite is but for a moment. Why? Go to verse 19. What did the wicked do? What did this colonizer do to our people? Read.
Because verse 19.
Yeah, Captain, we could end with that, and then I'll see if I could pick some figures.
Yes.
All right.
Read.
Book of Job, chapter 20, the verse 19. Because he has oppressed and has forsaken the poor.
Because the wicked has oppressed us and he has forsaken the poor. He took our resources, he took our land, he divided it, and he enslaved the people, the children of God. He oppressed, and he had forsaken the poor. We're the poor. We're the poor spiritually. We're the poor economically. Go on.
And house has violently taken away. Because he has violently taken away an house which he builded not.
And he violently took away a house, meaning he took away our lands and our houses, our resources, which he did not build.
All right, Job chapter 20, verse 19. You woman, if we say, Wapecha Mobrofo Apo, now Wafa Efia, Enye or no, na Usie. Ahana, Yadisina Mama, I still have the captain on the line, 0322295471. We have 4 minutes to go, 0322295470. Yes, which you can go for, no question, no profuma mami. 0322295471, 0322295470. Mepacho, Obaso, and why was 70 hours. We didn't baby, I will cast a fee and no question. Which we can Potokasema Aponya Wobo. For so can you pee Munzwa Aponya Wobo. 0322-295-471. 0322-295-470. Wow. So, Captain, I'm still waiting for the course. And let me ask you this one particular question.
Yes.
So, is there any way that this image that has been circulated around can be changed quickly and as soon as possible?
Can this what be changed?
Yes. Can the image that has been circulated around, being portrayed as Christ our Lord, be changed as soon as possible and in a quick time?
Yeah. Tell everybody that has the image of the beast in the house to take it outside and use it for fire. Burn it.
That's how we should go about it.
That's what the Bible said. Get Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 25.
Wow.
Deuteronomy 20, verse 7, verse 25.
Book of Deuteronomy chapter 7, the verse 25. The graven images of their gods shall ye burn with fire.
The Bible says the graven images of their gods shall you burn with fire. Use it as fuel. If you get cold that night, burn that white image. Go on.
Thou shalt not desire the silver or gold that is on them, nor take it unto thee, lest thou be snared therein, for it is an abomination to the Lord thy God.
So the Bible says to burn those images with fire.
All right, let me say, Captain Joe said, see in praying, you better than that, images. Caesar Bojeya, Funi, Aqua Bontia, who do baby people, every beside say, a quan person ever fast. The bees are in Funina free in Montenson, Tentem, and our Harris. And now, old Chirum said, Bible Naka, one my dear, a choir was a fast way to tell you, would tell me something you know, be and Tempea, no answer will be. Now we treasure, not now was you know. And no, and now Omea King Kind, every Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 25. Was it one and yame, a who nino, was it one for Uja and Shon? Let me pick this call before we continue. Hello, good afternoon. Yes, sir. Maybe I showed you, baby. I can say. Maybe I showed you too.
If it's not Jesus, then they should do us a big favor by revealing the real testimony for us.
I just say, and no say me busa Captain Dada. Medical busa says, I'm on my quotation. Revelation chapter 1, verse 1. Now, what jump about 14 to 15? Why? Yeah, I say, okay. Debut.
They talk out of me I don't talk out
okay. I said, I saw the pastor that come home. I said, all right, thank you. Well noted. All right, that's okay. All right, look, Captain. He was asking the same question that I did ask. Okay, so is there a rare image of our Lord Jesus Christ? Is there any rare image? So I just gave him the quotation that you gave us.
Yes.
That's now, Revelation chapter 1, the verse 1, and then you should jump to the verse 14.
Yes, sir.
All right, so Captain, nice for having you, but before then, your final word before you take leave of us.
Yes, all praise to the Most High for you brothers and sisters that scattered throughout the diaspora and Ghana, Sierra Leone, and the different locations, wherever the slave ships went or wherever our ancestors were enslaved. We are the children of Israel. We're the biblical Jews. You're not Africans, but you're of the Shemitic descent. We are the Hebrews. It's time to come back and to keep God's laws, statutes, and commandments before the destruction of America persists. Also, you can contact us. Now, who does the contact information? Who reads that?
Yes, I'll do that.
Okay, you do that. All right.
All right, okay. Nice for having you today. And in fact, I'll be waiting on your coming. So we do a mass burning of those images in Ghana.
Yes, burn them all.
Yes.
We want the biggest bonfire in Ghana. We want the bonfire to be so high that I can see it in America.
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission, minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold, from Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.